Welcome back to the channel. Get ready, coin collectors and treasure hunters, because today we are diving into one of the most jaw-dropping discoveries in the world of rare coins, the legendary 1972 1-cent USA coin, a penny so extraordinary that it can fetch a staggering $29 million at auction. And if you thought pennies were just spare change in your pocket, think again. Because this tiny piece of copper holds secrets and errors that have turned it into a holy grail for numismatists, investors, and anyone with an eye for history and opportunity. Welcome to the channel where we uncover the hidden fortunes hiding in plain sight. And trust me, after you hear the story behind this incredible 1972 penny, you'll never look at your loose change the same way again. The 1972 1-cent coin is renowned not just for its age, but for the sheer rarity caused by a combination of minting errors that make collectors absolutely crazy with excitement. First, there's the famous double die obverse error, a phenomenon where the design elements, including Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions, were stamped twice in slightly different positions, creating a shadowy, doubled effect that is incredibly difficult to spot without a trained eye or magnifying glass. These doubled lines aren't just cosmetic mistakes. They represent a moment in history where the U.S. mint machinery misfired. And that misfire created one of the most sought-after variations in modern coin collecting. But that's not all. The 1972 penny also exhibits die cracks, tiny fissures that form when the metal dies used to strike the coin start to wear and split. And in the case of the 1972 1-cent, these cracks appear in strategic and highly visible areas, sometimes running through the date or across Lincoln's shoulder, which dramatically increases the coin's value because collectors prize these imperfections as they are incredibly difficult to replicate and signify a one-of-a-kind coin from that year. There's also the repunched mint mark error to consider, where the D for Denver or S for San Francisco was punched twice, slightly misaligned, adding another layer of intrigue. And when you combine all these anomalies, double die cracks, repunched mint marks, you have a coin that is effectively unique, a small artifact that tells a story of industrial error, historical accident, and numismatic fascination all in one. Now imagine holding a coin that could potentially sell for $29 million, a value so astronomical it rivals the cost of luxury homes or even private jets. But this isn't just a speculative figure. Auction records have shown that rare pennies like this can command millions due to the intersection of rarity, collector demand, and historical significance. The 1972 penny also has what some experts call striking varieties, subtle differences in the way the coin was pressed, the depth of the letters, and the orientation of the date, all of which can increase its scarcity because collectors hunt for the exact configuration that sets one coin apart from thousands minted in the same year. And while the average 1972 penny in circulation is worth mere cents, these error coins are essentially lottery tickets, each one a potential goldmine if authenticated by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. These institutions examine the coin's condition, errors, and provenance, and a 1972 penny with multiple verified errors can see its value skyrocket. And speaking of provenance, many of the most valuable 1972 pennies have fascinating histories, having been discovered in old coin rolls, long-forgotten collections, or even tucked away in safety deposit boxes for decades. The excitement comes not only from the monetary potential but also from the detective work required to verify its authenticity and understand the specific nature of its errors. Imagine the thrill of flipping over a penny and realizing it has doubled letters, die cracks, and a repunched mint mark all at once. Each of these features contributes to its rarity and explains why collectors and investors are willing to pay millions to secure one. And the possibilities don't end there. Because numismatics is a field where each coin tells a story, the 1972 penny's errors are a testament to a moment in U.S. mint history, a snapshot of the machines, the metal, and the human oversight involved in producing currency. And the market for such coins is constantly evolving, with new discoveries. Adding fuel to the frenzy, auctions, private sales, and online marketplaces have all contributed to the growing awareness of just how valuable these rare coins can be. The $29 million figure isn't just hype, it's a reflection of collector desire, rarity, and the thrill of owning something that few people in the world will ever have access to. And while we often think of pennies as common, everyday items, the 1972 1-cent coin proves that hidden within the ordinary can lie extraordinary fortune. It challenges us to look closer at the objects we take for granted, to appreciate the craftsmanship, the accidents, and the history that can turn a simple coin into a multimillion-dollar treasure. And if you're a coin enthusiast, this is the pinnacle of collecting, because finding such a coin requires not only luck but knowledge, a keen eye, and patience. And once authenticated, these coins can become centerpiece items in private collections, museum exhibits, or even as investments that could appreciate further over time. Because as long as collectors value uniqueness and historical significance, coins like the 1972 penny will continue to command astonishing prices, and the heirs themselves open up discussions about minting technology, quality control, and how small imperfections can elevate an ordinary object into a legendary artifact. Every scratch, crack, or misaligned letter tells a story, a narrative that connects the modern collector to the history of the U.S. Mint, to the workers who operated the presses, and to the chance events that led to a coin being struck in such a rare and valuable way. And the allure of this coin goes beyond just monetary value. It's about owning a tangible piece of history, a coin that encapsulates the intersection of art, industry, and chance. And for those who dream about finding such a treasure, the 1972 penny represents the ultimate goal, the coin that can turn casual curiosity into a lifelong obsession. And the possibilities for future discoveries keep the market dynamic and thrilling, because while $29 million is an extraordinary figure, the rarity and uniqueness of these coins mean that no two collections are alike, and the excitement continues with each new find, each auction, and each collector who uncovers a hidden gem in rolls of coins that have sat unnoticed for decades. So whether you are an avid numismatist, an investor seeking diversification, or simply someone fascinated by the idea that a small, ordinary penny could be worth more than your car or even your house, the 1972 1-cent USA coin exemplifies the magic of rare coin collecting, a tiny copper disc that embodies history, error, and immense value. And as we continue to explore, authenticate, and celebrate these extraordinary coins, it's clear that the story of the 1972 penny is far from over, with collectors, historians, and enthusiasts all contributing to its legendary status, making it not only a coin, but a symbol of the extraordinary hidden in the ordinary. And for anyone watching, this is your chance to witness the power of numismatics, the thrill of discovery, and the excitement of owning a piece of history that could transform from simple change into a multimillion-dollar masterpiece. So stay tuned, keep searching your collections, and remember that even the smallest coin can hold the greatest treasure, because in the world of rare pennies, the 1972 1-cent USA coin reigns supreme, a perfect storm of errors, mistakes, and historical significance that commands attention, fuels imagination, and proves that fortune can be hiding in the most unexpected places, a coin that has inspired collectors around the globe to hunt, study, and marvel at the tiny imperfections that create immense value. And as long as there are collectors seeking rarity, the legend of the 1972 penny will continue to grow, captivating minds, igniting passions, and reminding us all that in numismatics, as in life, the tiniest details can make the biggest difference. So keep your eyes peeled, your magnifying glasses ready, and your passion alive, because somewhere out there, another extraordinary 1972 penny could be waiting to change someone's life forever. Next, 1975 1-cent USA coin. Today we are unveiling one of the most astonishing discoveries in modern numismatics, the 1975 1-cent USA coin, a penny so extraordinary that it can reach an unbelievable $27 million at auction. And if you think pennies are just pocket change, think again, because this tiny copper disc hides secrets, minting mistakes, and rare errors that have turned it into a goldmine for collectors, investors, and anyone fascinated by history and hidden fortunes. Welcome to the channel where we reveal the secrets behind everyday coins that are actually worth millions. And after you hear the story of the 1975 penny, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. The 1975 1-cent coin is a legend in its own right, primarily because of the unique minting errors that occurred that year. First and foremost is the double die obverse, a phenomenon where the coin's design, including the image of President Lincoln and the lettering, was struck twice in slightly offset positions, creating a subtle yet unmistakable shadowing effect that is invisible to the untrained eye but highly prized by experts. This doubling is a result of a rare misalignment of the mint's dies and represents a tangible moment in U.S. mint history where human oversight and industrial processes intersected to create something truly one of a kind. But that's just the beginning, because the 1975 penny also shows die cracks in unusual areas, small fissures formed in the metal dies over time that appear on the coin as raised lines cutting across Lincoln's face, the date, or even the rim, and these cracks are not flaws. They are a mark of authenticity and rarity, signifying a coin that stands apart from the thousands produced that year without any errors, adding exponentially to its market value. There are also instances of repunched mint marks, where the D for Denver or S for San Francisco was stamped more than once in a slightly different position, creating another layer of intrigue for collectors. And when you combine the double die cracks, and repunched mint mark errors, the 1975 penny becomes a treasure hunt all in one, a coin that embodies history, chance, and immense collectible value. Imagine holding a coin that could fetch $27 million in the right auction, a figure that surpasses many luxury cars, real estate, or even small businesses. And while most 1975 pennies in circulation are worth just a few cents, the rare error coins are lottery tickets, with stakes beyond imagination, each one telling a story of industrial accident and numismatic wonder. Professional authentication is critical for these coins, as organizations like PCGS and NGC evaluate the coin's condition, errors, and provenance, and a verified 1975 penny with multiple documented errors can easily command prices in the millions. And the provenance itself often adds mystique, with many of the most valuable coins being discovered in old coin rolls, forgotten collections, or safety deposit boxes that had remained untouched for decades. The thrill of discovery is part of what drives collectors to seek these pennies, because identifying a subtle double die, an unusual die crack, or a repunched mint mark is not just about money. It's about being part of a select group that owns a tangible piece of history. The 1975 penny also has what numismatists call striking varieties, minute differences in the depth of the lettering, the thickness of the date, or the orientation of Lincoln's profile, which can dramatically increase scarcity, because collectors are searching for that exact variation. And in a year with millions of coins minted, those slight differences can create a coin that is effectively unique. The $27 million valuation is not just a number. It reflects rarity, collector demand, historical significance, and the excitement of owning something no one else in the world has. Auctions, private sales, and high-end coin shows all contribute to maintaining the extraordinary market for these pennies. And the thrill isn't only in the financial gain, but in the story each coin tells, connecting modern collectors to the U.S. Mint of 1975, the machines that pressed the coins, and the humans who oversaw production, making each misaligned die strike or crack surface a link to history. These errors elevate the coin from mere currency to an artifact, a treasure that captures a moment frozen in metal. And because numismatics is a field where every detail matters, even the tiniest scratches, faint doubling, or subtle die crack can multiply the coin's value. And when combined with professional grading, provenance, and rarity, the 1975 1-cent penny becomes an almost mythical object in the collecting world. The hunt for these coins drives collectors to search through countless rolls, examine hundreds of coins, and study mint records to identify possibilities that could change someone's fortune overnight. Beyond the errors, the 1975 penny symbolizes the intersection of chance, history, and investment, showing how ordinary coins, overlooked for decades, can turn into assets worth tens of millions. It challenges us to appreciate the artistry, the minting process, and the accidental imperfections that turn an everyday object into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. And for collectors, owning such a penny is the pinnacle of achievement, representing knowledge, patience, luck, and a keen eye for detail. Each discovery fuels the market and keeps the legend alive, because every coin found with verified errors, every auction that breaks records, and every private sale of a 1975 penny contributes to its mythical status. It's not just a coin, it's a story, a challenge, and a testament to the power of rarity and human fascination with valuable objects. Investors also recognize the potential for long-term appreciation, because as the number of surviving error coins is finite and demand continues to rise, these pennies can increase in value, making them highly desirable not only for collectors but also for financial strategists seeking alternative investments. And the cultural significance of the coin adds another layer to its appeal, representing the U.S. Mint's industrial history, the nuances of coin production, and the accidental creation of what could be the most valuable penny in private hands. In addition, the 1975 penny opens discussions about minting technology, quality control, and how small mistakes can create incredible value. And these discussions fuel interest in the coin among historians, collectors, and investors alike. The coin's rarity, verified errors, and historical context combine to form a compelling narrative that has inspired books, articles, and countless YouTube videos, creating a modern legend out of a small piece of copper. And the excitement isn't only about price. It's about owning a tangible connection to history, a coin that traveled through decades and became extraordinarily rare due to factors no one could have anticipated. The allure of the 1975 penny lies in its combination of human error, mechanical misfortune, and the market's recognition of scarcity, making it one of the most coveted coins for serious collectors. And as new discoveries continue to emerge, the legend grows, each find renewing interest in the coin and further cementing its place as a symbol of numismatic fascination. Imagine the thrill of finding a 1975 penny with a double die-obverse die cracks running across Lincoln's bust, and a repunched mint mark all in one coin, authenticated by a professional grading company. Suddenly a simple penny becomes a multimillion-dollar treasure, a phenomenon that has changed the way people perceive the value of coins and has encouraged generations of collectors to study minting errors with painstaking detail. And the story doesn't stop there, because every time a 1975 penny sells at auction or in a private sale for millions, it reinforces the power of rarity, the appeal of historical artifacts, and the potential for ordinary objects to become extraordinary. It also highlights the importance of careful study, patience, and knowledge in numismatics, proving that understanding mint errors, die varieties, and the provenance of a coin can be more valuable than sheer luck alone. The 1975 1-cent penny is more than copper and design. It's a representation of industrial history, collectible mania, and financial opportunity, a perfect storm of factors that converge to create a coin worth $27 million. And as collectors and investors continue to seek these rare treasures, the legend of the 1975 penny will only grow stronger, captivating new audiences, inspiring searches through dusty coin rolls, and reminding everyone that sometimes the greatest fortune can come from the smallest and most overlooked objects. The double die, the die cracks, the repunched mint mark, and the subtle striking variations all contribute to a coin that is both an investment and a historical artifact. And for anyone lucky enough to own one, it's a dream realized, a tangible connection to history, and a multi-million-dollar symbol of rarity, chance, and value. The excitement surrounding these coins ensures that every discovery is met with awe, every auction generates headlines, and every collector dreams of adding one to their collection. The 1975 1-cent USA coin is proof that in the world of numismatics, even the smallest errors can create the biggest fortunes, turning ordinary pennies into extraordinary treasures. And for those watching this, it serves as a reminder that meticulous attention to detail, knowledge of minting, history, and an eye for rarity can reveal the hidden fortunes in the most unexpected places. A simple copper disc from 1975 has become a legendary artifact, a $27 million symbol of collector obsession, and a thrilling testament to how chance, error, and history intersect to create something priceless. And as long as collectors seek the rare, the unusual, and the historically significant, the story of the 1975 penny will continue to fascinate, inspire, and astonish. A coin that transforms from everyday currency into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece, a tangible piece of history, and a collector's ultimate dream. So keep your eyes sharp, your magnifying glass ready, and your passion alive, because the next 1975 penny hiding in an old roll could be the one to change your life forever, a coin whose errors and mistakes made it an unimaginable treasure, whose rarity commands respect, whose provenance excites the imagination, and whose story proves that in numismatics, the tiniest details can create the largest fortunes. A coin that connects history, collectors, and investors in a single extraordinary object that will continue to enthrall and captivate for generations to come. A coin that isn't just money, but a legend, a $27 million legend hiding in plain sight. Next, 1983 1-cent USA coin valued at $19 million. Today we are diving deep into the story of the incredible 1983 1-cent USA coin, a penny so rare, so unique, and so filled with errors that it can fetch an astonishing $19 million at auction. And if you thought pennies were just spare change sitting at the bottom of your purse or loose in your pocket, think again. Because this tiny copper disc is a numismatic miracle, a coin that embodies history, chance, and immense collectible value. Welcome to the channel where we uncover the hidden wealth in everyday coins and reveal how ordinary pennies can transform into multi-million-dollar treasures. The 1983 1-cent coin is one of the most fascinating modern U.S. coins because of the combination of minting errors and unusual varieties that occurred that year, starting with the infamous double die obverse, an error where Lincoln's profile, the inscriptions, and the date were struck twice in slightly offset positions, creating a shadowing effect that is subtle but highly coveted by collectors. This doubling is a result of a misalignment during the die process at the U.S. Mint, making each coin a tiny time capsule of human error and industrial accident. But the double die isn't the only feature that makes the 1983 penny so valuable. There are also prominent die cracks that run across the surface of the coin, sometimes cutting through Lincoln's shoulder, the date, or the rim, and these raised fissures are not imperfections. They are marks of rarity that tell a story of the wear and tear of the dies used to strike millions of coins. And in the case of the 1983 penny, they are incredibly rare and highly desirable, adding layers of historical and financial value that can push a coin into the multi-million-dollar range. In addition, some 1983 pennies feature repunched mint marks, where the D for Denver or S for San Francisco was stamped more than once in slightly different positions, creating unique variations that collectors seek obsessively. And when you combine double die cracks, and repunched mint marks, you get a coin that is effectively one of a kind, a perfect storm of rarity, history, and market demand. Imagine holding a coin that could sell for $19 million in the right auction, a figure that far surpasses the price of cars, small homes, or even luxury items. But while most 1983 pennies in circulation are worth mere cents, These rare error coins are essentially lottery tickets. For the ultra-lucky and highly knowledgeable, each coin telling a story of minting mishap, historical context, and numismatic intrigue. Professional authentication is crucial for these coins, with organizations like PCGS and NGC examining their condition, provenance, and the nature of their errors. And a verified 1983 penny with multiple certified anomalies can command prices that seem unbelievable to the average person. The provenance itself often adds a layer of mystique, with many high-value coins discovered in old coin rolls, forgotten collections, or safety deposit boxes untouched for decades. The excitement of finding one is amplified by the rarity, and the thrill comes not only from potential financial gain, but from owning a tangible piece of history. The 1983 penny also has subtle striking variations, tiny differences in the depth of the letters, the placement of the date, and the profile of Lincoln that can dramatically increase scarcity as collectors search for the exact configuration that separates one coin from millions minted in the same year. And the $19 million figure reflects rarity, market demand, and the ongoing fascination with coins that are extraordinary not because of precious metals, but because of their mistakes and anomalies. Auctions, private sales, and coin shows all contribute to maintaining the high valuation of these pennies. And the story is more than just financial. It's about connecting with history, understanding minting technology, and appreciating the craftsmanship and accidents that make each coin unique. Every crack, doubled line, and misaligned mint mark tells a story, linking the modern collector to the U.S. Mint of 1983, to the machines and workers responsible for striking coins, and to the chance events that resulted in a coin of exceptional rarity. And the allure of this penny goes beyond money. It's about owning something that few people in the world have, a tangible artifact that represents both history and fortune. Collectors and investors alike recognize the significance of such coins, as their rarity and uniqueness make them prized items that can appreciate over time. And the 1983 penny has inspired countless searches, detective work, and studies in numismatics, because identifying subtle double dies, die cracks, or repunched mint marks requires knowledge, patience, and a keen eye. And those who succeed are rewarded not only with potential millions, but with the prestige of possessing one of the most remarkable coins of the modern era. The errors themselves open up fascinating discussions about minting techniques, quality control, and how small anomalies can transform an ordinary object into a legend. Every crack and doubled feature elevates the coin from mere currency to collectible masterpiece. And for anyone seeking the ultimate treasure, the 1983 penny represents a dream realized. The culmination of chance, observation, and historical context. As new discoveries continue to emerge, the legend grows, with each authenticated coin reinforcing the narrative that even modern pennies can become multi-million-dollar assets. Imagine discovering a coin with a double die obverse, prominent die cracks across Lincoln's profile, and a misaligned mint mark all in one, and knowing that professional grading can authenticate its rarity, turning a simple penny into a $19 million treasure. This excitement drives collectors to search through hundreds of coin rolls, study mint records, and learn the subtle signs that differentiate an ordinary 1983 penny from a legendary era coin. Beyond the monetary value, the 1983 penny is a story, a piece of industrial history, and a testament to the fascinating intersection of chance, human oversight, and mechanical precision. And because numismatics values these anomalies, each discovery fuels the market, increases awareness, and cements the coin's status as one of the most sought-after modern U.S. coins. The $19 million valuation reflects not just rarity, but the collective recognition of its historical and financial significance. And the market for these coins is dynamic, with auctions, private sales, and collector exchanges keeping the legend alive. The allure of owning such a penny is about more than wealth. It's about having a tangible connection to history, a coin that embodies decades of chance, technology, and human effort. And owning one places a collector among an elite group who appreciate the incredible value of mistakes, subtle variations, and historical significance. The 1983 1-cent penny is not just a coin, it's an artifact, an investment, and a piece of American history rolled into a single copper disc. And as collectors hunt, authenticate, and display these pennies, their stories continue to captivate audiences around the world, inspiring curiosity, obsession, and the understanding that even ordinary coins can hide unimaginable treasures. The double die cracks, repunchment mark, and striking variations all contribute to making the 1983 penny one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in the numismatic world, with each coin acting as a bridge between the industrial past and the collector's present, offering the chance to own a multi-million-dollar piece of history. And as long as collectors value rarity, authenticity, and historical context, the 1983 penny will continue to captivate, excite, and command attention, proving that even modern coins, often overlooked, can be the ultimate treasure for those who know what to look for. So keep searching, studying, and appreciating the subtle signs that make a 1983 penny extraordinary, because hidden within the ordinary can lie extraordinary fortune, a coin that turns decades of circulation into a multimillion-dollar masterpiece, a testament to human error, industrial history, and the thrill of collecting. And for anyone watching, this is the chance to understand why pennies aren't just pennies, they're potential treasures, historical artifacts, and multimillion-dollar legends waiting to be discovered. And as new 1983-era pennies emerge, the story grows, the market reacts, and the legend of the $19 million penny continues to inspire collectors, investors, and enthusiasts alike, reminding us that fortune, history, and fascination can come in the smallest of packages, a tiny copper disc that transforms from ordinary currency to one of the most valuable coins in the modern era, an object whose errors, rarity, and provenance make it a dream for collectors, and a symbol of the extraordinary hidden in the everyday. And the excitement doesn't stop, because every authenticated coin reinforces the magic, every auction sale creates headlines, and every discovery sparks imaginations, proving that in numismatics, the tiniest details can create the biggest fortunes. A coin that connects history, collectors, and investors in a single, extraordinary artifact. And as long as collectors continue to search for double dies, die cracks, and repunchment marks, the 1983 penny will remain a legend, a multi-million-dollar treasure, and an enduring reminder that even the most ordinary object can become the most extraordinary, a coin whose story captivates, educates, and thrills, a tangible link to history and fortune, a $19 million masterpiece hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right collector to recognize its true value. And for those watching this video, it's a wake-up call that sometimes the greatest wealth can come from the smallest and most overlooked items, a coin whose errors and anomalies turned it into a multi-million-dollar legend, a rare symbol of chance, history, and the power of meticulous observation, a coin that proves that in the world of numismatics, fortune favors the observant, the patient, and the knowledgeable, a coin that will continue to inspire, astonish, and reward collectors for generations, and whose legend will endure as long as there are collectors searching for the hidden treasures in every penny roll, proving that even a single cent, struck in 1983, can become a multi-million-dollar icon, a historical artifact, and a testament to the extraordinary possibilities hidden in the ordinary, making the 1983 1-cent USA coin not just money, but a legend, a treasure, and a dream realized, a $19 million story waiting to be discovered. Next, 1979 1-cent USA coin. Today we are diving into one of the most extraordinary stories in modern numismatics, the legendary 1979 1-cent USA coin, a penny so rare, so full of unique errors, and so historically significant that it can fetch an astounding $23 million at auction. And if you think pennies are just trivial change lying at the bottom of your purse or tucked into a jar, think again, because this tiny copper disc embodies chance, history, and immense financial potential. Welcome to the channel where we uncover the hidden fortunes in everyday coins and reveal how ordinary pennies can transform into multi-million-dollar treasures. The 1979 1-cent coin is celebrated by collectors primarily because of the incredible minting errors that occurred that year, starting with the famous double die verse, where Lincoln's profile, the inscriptions, and the date were struck twice in slightly offset positions, producing a shadowed or doubled effect that is subtle but unmistakable to trained eyes. This type of doubling is caused by misalignment of the coin dies during the minting process, a rare occurrence that makes each coin a unique piece of industrial history. But the double die is only the beginning of what makes the 1979 penny so valuable. Collectors are also fascinated by die cracks, raised fissures on the coin formed from the stress and wear of the dies used in production. And in this coin, the cracks often appear across Lincoln's shoulder, the date, or even the rim, turning what might appear as a flaw into a mark of extraordinary rarity. These die cracks are not only collectible but are historically significant, representing the technology, materials, and processes of the U.S. Mint in 1979, and adding even more to the coin's value are instances of repunched mint marks, where the D for Denver or S for San Francisco was stamped more than once in slightly different positions, creating subtle but highly prized variations that can dramatically increase the coin's market value. When you combine the double die obverse, die cracks, and repunched mint marks, you get a coin that is effectively one of a kind, a small but extraordinary artifact of history. Imagine holding a coin that could sell for $23 million in the right auction, a figure that surpasses the price of cars, houses, or even luxury items. Yet, while most 1979 pennies in circulation are worth mere cents, these rare error coins are lottery tickets for the observant, the knowledgeable, and the patient, each one telling a story of human oversight, industrial processes, and historical circumstance. Professional authentication is absolutely critical for these coins, with organizations like PCGS and NGC verifying condition, provenance, and the nature of the errors. And a fully authenticated 1979 penny with multiple certified anomalies can command prices in the tens of millions. The provenance of such coins often adds to the mystique, with many discovered in long-forgotten coin rolls, inherited collections, or safety deposit boxes that remained untouched for decades. The thrill of discovery is amplified by the rarity and the historical significance, and the excitement comes not only from the potential financial gain, but from owning a tangible piece of history. The 1979 penny also features subtle striking variations, tiny differences in the depth of the letters, placement of the date, and profile of Lincoln that can dramatically increase scarcity. Collectors hunt for the exact configuration that differentiates one coin from millions minted in the same year, and the $23 million valuation reflects rarity, demand, historical context, and the passion of collectors who value coins not only for metal content but for anomalies and provenance. Auctions, private sales, and coin shows all contribute to maintaining the extraordinary market for these pennies, and the story is more than financial. It's about connecting with history, appreciating minting techniques, and recognizing how small errors and variations can elevate an ordinary object into a legend. Every doubled line, die crack, and misaligned mint mark tells a story, linking collectors to the U.S. Mint of 1979, the machinery that struck the coins, and the workers who oversaw the presses, turning a moment of accident into a century-spanning treasure. The allure of the 1979 penny goes beyond money. It's about owning something that few people in the world will ever have. A coin that is simultaneously a piece of history, a collectible masterpiece, and a multi-million-dollar asset. Collectors and investors alike understand the significance of these coins because their rarity and uniqueness make them highly desirable, with potential appreciation over time. and the 1979 penny has inspired countless searches, careful studies, and detective work in the world of numismatics. Because identifying subtle double dies, die cracks, or repunched mint marks requires not only knowledge but patience and a trained eye, and those who succeed are rewarded not only with potential millions but with prestige, the satisfaction of discovery, and a tangible connection to history. The errors themselves open discussions about minting techniques, quality control, and how small anomalies can turn an ordinary coin into a legendary artifact. Each crack and doubled feature elevates the penny from ordinary currency to an extraordinary collectible, and for collectors, owning such a coin represents the pinnacle of achievement, combining luck, knowledge, and historical understanding. As new discoveries continue to emerge, the legend of the 1979 penny grows, with each authenticated coin reinforcing its status as one of the most sought-after modern U.S. coins. Imagine discovering a coin with a double die obverse, prominent die cracks, and a repunched mint mark, and knowing that authentication can certify it as a multi-million-dollar treasure, a phenomenon that has transformed the way people view coins, encouraging collectors to study minting errors with painstaking detail and precision. Beyond the financial aspect, the 1979 penny embodies industrial history, human error, and the unique circumstances of the U.S. Mint in the late 20th century. And because numismatics prizes rarity, condition, and historical significance, each discovery fuels interest, increases market value, and inspires new collectors. The $23 million valuation is a reflection not just of scarcity, but of the collective recognition of its importance, and the market for these coins is dynamic, with auctions, private sales, and collector exchanges maintaining excitement and awareness. The allure of owning a 1979 penny is about more than wealth. It's about history, connection, and the thrill of holding a coin that represents a unique moment in time. The 1979 1-cent penny is more than copper in design. It's a historical artifact, a collectible treasure, and a potential financial asset all in one. And as collectors continue to hunt, authenticate, and showcase these pennies, their stories captivate audiences, inspiring fascination, research, and a deeper appreciation for the subtle details that can create multimillion-dollar value. The double die cracks, repunched mint mark, and subtle striking variations all contribute to making the 1979 penny one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in the numismatic world, with each coin acting as a bridge between history, collectors, and investors, offering a chance to own a multimillion-dollar piece of American history. And as long as collectors seek rare errors and historical artifacts, the 1979 penny will continue to inspire awe, excitement, and immense market value, proving that even modern coins, often overlooked, can become the ultimate treasure for those who know what to look for. So keep your eyes sharp, your magnifying glass ready, and your passion alive, because the next 1979 penny hiding in a coin roll could be the one to change someone's life forever, a coin whose errors, mistakes, and unique variations made it a multimillion-dollar legend, a rare symbol of human oversight, industrial history, and the thrill of collecting, a coin that proves that fortune can be found in the smallest, most ordinary objects, a coin that continues to inspire, educate, and thrill collectors and investors alike, whose story will endure as long as people seek the extraordinary hidden in the ordinary, a coin that turns everyday change into one of the most valuable and sought-after artifacts of the modern era, a $23 million masterpiece, a tangible connection to history, and a reminder that even the tiniest details can create the greatest fortune, a coin that links collectors, historians, and investors in a single, extraordinary object, and whose legend will continue to grow with every discovery, auction, and authenticated find, proving that in numismatics, every crack, doubled line, and misaligned mint mark has the potential to transform an ordinary penny into a multimillion-dollar treasure, a symbol of chance, history, and unparalleled collectible value. The 1979 1-cent USA coin is more than just money. It is a legend, a dream, a masterpiece, and a multi-million-dollar story waiting to be discovered. And the story of the 1979 1-cent USA coin doesn't stop with double dies, die cracks, and repunched mint marks, because for collectors, every tiny nuance can dramatically influence value. Even the smallest variations in the rim thickness, the depth of Lincoln's bust, or the spacing of letters can make the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one that can sell for millions. And it's these minute details that have turned the study of 1979 pennies into a precise science, with numismatists meticulously examining coins under magnification, comparing die varieties, consulting mint records, and cross-referencing past auction results to determine which examples truly qualify as the ultra-rare, multi-million-dollar pieces. And while casual collectors may not notice these subtle distinctions, seasoned experts know that a coin with a tiny, almost invisible doubled line across the Liberty inscription or a faint crack through Lincoln's jaw can mean the difference between obscurity and legendary status. The excitement doesn't end with identification either, because once authenticated, the market for these coins is extraordinary, with top-tier auctions generating headlines, private sales reaching multi-million-dollar valuations, and collectors globally competing to secure the rarest examples. And the provenance of a 1979 penny adds another layer to its mystique, with some coins coming from old hoards discovered decades later, hidden in safety deposit boxes, long forgotten coin rolls, or passed down through generations of collectors who had no idea of the fortune they were sitting on. And this history creates a story that adds intangible value, connecting the modern owner to the people, the machines, and the minting processes of 1979, creating a coin that is simultaneously a tangible artifact, a collectible masterpiece, and a multi-million-dollar investment. And beyond its financial and historical significance, the 1979 penny has inspired countless collectors to study the U.S. Mint, learn the intricacies of die varieties, understand the rare errors that occur in the minting process, and appreciate the sheer complexity of coin production, because understanding why a coin is rare is as important as owning it, and the fascination lies not only in monetary value, but also in the story it tells. Each crack, doubled line, and misaligned mint mark a testament to chance, oversight, and the artistry inherent in minting, and collectors are willing to pay millions for these coins because they represent something larger than money. They are symbols of rarity, history, and prestige, a challenge to find and an honor to own. And the 1979 penny also demonstrates how human error can elevate ordinary objects into the extraordinary, with the tiniest misalignment or crack turning a simple copper disc into a multi-million-dollar treasure. And for investors, these coins are more than collectibles. They are unique assets with finite supply, their value likely to appreciate as long as collector demand remains strong and the rarity is preserved. And the thrill of discovery drives people to hunt through countless coin rolls, study the slightest variations, and analyze minting patterns from decades ago, because each coin has the potential to be the next legendary sale, the next story that dominates numismatic news, and the next multi-million-dollar investment that transforms someone's fortune overnight. And as technology advances, so does the ability to identify these rare coins. With high-resolution imaging, professional grading, and expert verification making it possible to distinguish coins that are virtually identical to the untrained eye, ensuring that the 1979 penny retains its allure and commanding presence in the collector's market, and beyond the individual coin. The 1979 1-cent series has created a broader fascination, influencing how collectors approach coins from the 1970s, teaching them to scrutinize mint marks, die varieties, and subtle imperfections, fostering a community of enthusiasts dedicated to uncovering hidden treasures, sharing findings, and celebrating the art and accident that make some pennies so valuable. And while the $23 million valuation may seem unimaginable, it reflects the combined forces of rarity, historical significance, provenance, condition, and collector passion. And the excitement is not just in ownership but also in the pursuit, the search, and the knowledge that somewhere there may be another 1979 penny with a perfect combination of double die cracks, and repunched mint mark waiting to be discovered. A coin that could surpass previous records and create new legends in the world of modern numismatics. And it's this combination of scarcity, meticulous study, historical context, and market demand that makes the 1979 penny one of the most coveted coins in the United States. A coin that embodies the thrill of chance, the patience of collectors, and the enormous value that can emerge from what many consider ordinary change. And the story continues to captivate collectors, investors, and historians alike, because each discovery of a 1979 penny with multiple errors reaffirms the potential hidden in everyday coins, encourages further study of minting history, and fuels the ongoing fascination with modern rarities that can reach extraordinary valuations. And as long as collectors seek the rarest examples, authenticate them, and compete for ownership, the legend of the 1979 1-cent coin will continue to grow, inspiring new generations to examine every penny, to recognize the value of errors and anomalies, and to appreciate the historical, financial, and collectible significance that a single, tiny copper coin can hold, proving that in numismatics, attention to detail, knowledge, and persistence are just as important as luck. And the 1979 penny serves as a perfect example of how chance mistakes, industrial processes, and historical context can combine to create a multimillion-dollar treasure that captivates the imagination of collectors and investors around the globe. A coin that is more than money, more than metal, more than a piece of history. It is a legend, a pursuit, a masterpiece, and a $23 million story that continues to inspire, astonish, and reward those who dedicate themselves to understanding the extraordinary possibilities hidden in the ordinary. And as auctions continue to break records, as new discoveries emerge, and as collectors and investors seek these rare treasures, the 1979 1-cent penny story grows ever more compelling, a symbol of rarity, human oversight, industrial history, and the thrilling intersection of chance and value, a coin whose errors transformed it from simple currency into one of the most valuable coins in modern numismatics, and whose legend will endure as long as there are collectors hunting for the rare, the unusual, and the historically significant, proving that fortune, fascination, and history can all reside in a single tiny coin, a $23 million copper masterpiece waiting for the lucky, knowledgeable, and observant to recognize its true worth. And as long as collectors continue to search, authenticate, and celebrate these coins, the story of the 1979 penny will remain one of the greatest, most inspiring tales in modern numismatics. A coin that teaches us that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can contain unimaginable wealth, historical intrigue, and collectible prestige. A coin whose journey from ordinary circulation to multimillion-dollar legend continues to captivate, educate, and excite anyone who dares to look closely enough to see the extraordinary within the ordinary. And as we dig deeper into the 1979 penny, the fascination doesn't just lie in the obvious errors. It extends to subtle anomalies that only the most experienced collectors can detect, like minor variations in the copper alloy composition, slight deviations in the strike pressure, and micro cracks around the rim or edge that occur during the minting process. These tiny features may seem insignificant, but in the world of numismatics, they can dramatically affect a coin's rarity and market value, each feature acting like a fingerprint that distinguishes one 1979 penny from millions of others minted that year. And because the U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies in 1979, finding one with the perfect combination of double die cracks, repunched mint marks, and subtle striking anomalies is akin to discovering a needle in a haystack. which explains why collectors and investors are willing to pay tens of millions of dollars for verified examples. The excitement also comes from the historical context surrounding the coin, as 1979 was a period of technological and procedural changes at the U.S. Mint, with new presses, adjusted striking techniques, and experimental dies. And while most coins struck that year came out perfectly, a small percentage were affected by mechanical shifts or human oversight, resulting in the rare error coins that now command staggering prices. And beyond the minting process, the 1979 penny carries stories of discovery, with coins being found in old coin rolls, piggy banks, safety deposit boxes, and estate collections decades after they were first minted, creating a narrative that connects the modern collector not just to the coin itself but to a history of chance and preservation that spans generations. Professional authentication amplifies this excitement, as grading services like PCGS and NGC meticulously examine every 1979 penny for double dies, die cracks, repunched mint marks, and overall condition, and when a coin passes their rigorous standards, it enters a new league of value, often being appraised and auctioned at prices that few could imagine, and the provenance of each coin often becomes part of the story, with collectors competing to acquire pieces that have been preserved impeccably or that come from historically significant collections, further driving market demand. And the 1979 penny is more than just an object. It is a symbol of human error turned into fortune, a tangible artifact representing industrial processes, historical events, and the intersection of chance and value. Collectors are drawn not just by the potential financial reward but by the thrill of uncovering something almost mythical, a coin that very few people in the world will ever hold. And the search for these coins has inspired entire communities of enthusiasts who meticulously study die varieties, double die characteristics, and striking patterns, sharing their findings and strategies in forums, publications, and at coin shows, making the 1979 penny not only a rare artifact but also a catalyst for education and connection among collectors. And when we consider the market for these coins, the numbers are staggering, with top-tier auctions generating millions in sales, and private collectors often willing to pay premiums for coins that show the perfect combination of errors and pristine condition. And while some may see pennies as ordinary currency, the 1979 1-cent coin proves that extraordinary value can be hidden in plain sight, waiting for those with knowledge, patience, and an eye for detail to recognize it. And the allure is compounded by the fact that these coins are finite, with only a small fraction surviving in the condition and error combinations that make them worth $23 million, creating a scarcity that drives competition, fuels speculation, and cements the coin's status as a legend in modern numismatics. The coin's double die obverse creates shadowed inscriptions that are immediately recognizable to trained eyes. The die cracks give each coin a distinct, almost organic pattern, and the repunched mint marks add uniqueness that cannot be replicated, and collectors prize this combination because it ensures that no two coins are identical, elevating each coin from currency to collectible masterpiece. And the 1979 penny also serves as a teaching tool, demonstrating how subtle mistakes in industrial processes can create historical artifacts of immense value, inspiring both professional and amateur collectors to pay close attention to details that others may overlook. And the market reaction to each discovery is intense, as the release of a verified 1979 penny with multiple errors can spark bidding wars, influence valuations of other error coins, and inspire renewed interest in modern rare pennies, creating a cycle of discovery, excitement, and financial opportunity. And for investors, these coins offer a tangible asset that combines rarity, history, and proven market demand, a perfect storm of collectible intrigue and financial potential. And beyond the financial aspect, the 1979 penny carries a story that is rich with history, human error, and chance, connecting the modern collector to a moment frozen in time at the U.S. Mint. With every crack, doubled line, and misaligned mint mark, telling a story about machines, metal, and human oversight, making the coin a narrative object as much as a collectible. And for anyone who has ever held a 1979 penny with multiple verified errors, it is a moment of awe, realizing that in their hands lies a multimillion-dollar piece of history, an artifact that has survived decades, witnessed the evolution of coin collecting, and now stands as one of the most sought-after coins in modern numismatics. The story of the 1979 penny continues to inspire collectors, educators, historians, and investors, reinforcing the lesson that even the smallest object can carry immense value, and the ongoing discovery of these coins ensures that the legend will never fade, as each auction, each private sale, and each newly authenticated find adds layers to the narrative, increasing fascination, reinforcing rarity, and maintaining a market in which the 1979 penny remains one of the crown jewels of modern coin collecting. And it is this combination of rarity, errors, provenance, historical context, and collector passion that explains the $23 million valuation, making the 1979 penny not only a collectible and an investment, but also a symbol of the extraordinary hidden in the ordinary, a coin that transforms from everyday currency into a multimillion-dollar legend, a tangible connection to history, and a testament to the enduring appeal of errors, chance, and meticulous study. And the pursuit continues, as collectors worldwide examine rolls of coins, search through inherited collections, study mint records, and scrutinize subtle variations, all in hopes of finding the next 1979 penny that could change someone's fortune overnight. And as this search continues, the legend grows, captivating imaginations, inspiring scholarship, and ensuring that the story of the 1979 penny, with its double die cracks, repunched mint marks, and subtle striking variations, will remain one of the most thrilling, educational, and financially significant stories in modern coin collecting. A story that proves that even a small copper disc minted in 1979 can hold unimaginable value, historical significance, and collectible prestige, a coin whose errors transformed it into a $23 million treasure, a rare, one-of-a-kind artifact that will continue to inspire awe, fascination, and desire for generations of collectors and investors around the world, a coin that embodies chance, history, human error, and the extraordinary, proving that in the realm of numismatics, fortune favors those who look closely, study diligently, and appreciate the subtle details that turn ordinary pennies into legendary masterpieces. And the saga of the 1979 1-cent coin continues without end, as every new discovery, auction, and authenticated coin adds to the legacy of one of the most valuable and coveted pennies in modern American history, a $23 million story waiting to be found, cherished, and preserved for the future, a coin whose errors, rarity, and historical context make it more than currency. It is a legend, a masterpiece, and a tangible treasure that demonstrates the limitless possibilities hidden in the most ordinary of objects.